Hey, hey. Hi, hi. I love life. I love life as you love life. I honor your deepest creation in this life, and I encourage you to love yourself and be yourself for the highest good. I am here today to answer your questions about the Georgia legislation. Oh, I meant to put my hemp threads on. I'm going to go do that in a minute. Oh, I've got it going on over here. I was testing it earlier. All good. I am back. Thank you so much for being here. Um, Before I get started, I want to play a little prayer that I say whenever I could think about it to break the spell on humanity and free this sacred plant the best we can. So I'm going to bring that to the screen over here, and then I will be right back. I make an outstanding agreement to honor and respect cannabis as a plant for food, free to be planted, harvested, and processed by all. I break any past contract known or unbeknownst to me that has taken away my freedoms and security. But not limited to being punished, shamed, lied to, neglected, shocked, blocked, or manipulated in regards to my personal relationship with and awareness of the cannabis plant. I am committed to spreading education about the many uses of cannabis, from fuel to paper, rope, fiber, medicine, technology, and ceremony. I believe we all stand and work together to reveal the truth about cannabis and help each other heal. The great deception, lies, punishment, and withholding of information that has affected the quality of our health and prosperity, relationships, communication, and camaraderie. My healthy, prosperous life deserves honor and devotion, and I honor my life. And it is my choice to use cannabis if it can contribute to and sustain this. I release any and all shame and fear if it's connected to this belief. Oh, I agree to honor my beliefs and acknowledge new agreements for the support and protection of our basic human rights. In regard to protecting and caring for ourselves, others, Earth, and Earth's resources, I further agree to and believe that it is my right and any human's right to grow cannabis in a personal garden, family, and or industrial farm. All suppression in the form of laws or otherwise that is out of agreement with this new contract is in violation of our beliefs, and it is my responsibility to make sure there's relief. And this is heard far and wide until total liberation is achieved. This is my sacred agreement and commitment, and I see that it is good. All right. How is everyone feeling today? Kitty Cat just answered. Oh, really? Is that how you're feeling? Well, we have a special guest today, Skittles the nurse. Is she ready to join us? I think so. And just to remind you all, my name is Aviva. This is my music channel. If I get enough subscribers on my hemp channel, which I'll link in the chat box in just a minute, then we can go live there, which would be great for my music algorithms. So be sure to watch and like a couple of my music videos after this so I don't get totally shadow banned. And yeah, so without further ado, Skittles the nurse is here to ask some questions and tell us a little bit about who she is and why she cares about cannabis. So give her a warm welcome.
Woo! Hello, hello. Wow. Thank you, Aviva, so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. And so, yes, like you said, I am Skittles the nurse, and I have been a nurse for over 2 decades. I'm really passionate about being a patient care advocate for all things, be it surgery, be it hydration, be diabetes, high blood pressure, activity, etc. But lately in my nursing career, I've come across a lot of people who are in extreme amounts of pain that our Western medication just does not handle. And I have been raised on drinking teas and then of course tinctures, salves, creams, and I've learned about the endocannabinoid system that each one of us possess in our body, and it's just been really fascinating as far as how medicines work in our system, how all natural remedies. I believe that we can have our Western medicine, but we also need alternatives to pain care. And with that being said, some medicines that are to be safe for us, Western medicines have killed us. Rest in peace to a lot of people who have OD'd on medications that have been safe for us, even in a hospital setting. And then let's not mention also the ones who have been in a home care setting that needed pain relief that I'm pretty sure couldn't get at a medical facility. That's why they went to alternatives with getting other remedies. But I am here just as an advocate. I've had family members, my own son as one who has endured a lot of medical malpractices from formula. It ruptured his intestines at 10 days old. And we had to do a lot of alternative lifestyle changes. He's 27 now and still has to do, he does a plant-based diet because that's what works with his body. And then also he learned about his endocannabinoid system because too many medications that they were giving him decreased his motility, which already furthered his problem with intestinal issues from this formula that is supposed to be just life sustaining. It's food that we're supposed to ingest. And he was a breastfed baby. So I think, well, I don't know what caused it, but I know it was formula that ruptured his intestines, and he was 10 days old and he had only had breast milk up until that point. And so that is why I became a nurse. He was in the hospital for 4 months in another two hours away from a city that I lived in, and I was there alone. I was 17 years old in my senior year of high school. So things are possible. Even still, that's just a little quote for anybody who feels like everything is on them. Even when a very dear loved one can be sick in a bed, you can still do something as far as making the situation better. And that is why I became a nurse. I finished high school on time and I became a nurse because it was something that I was really passionate about. And I wanted to help somebody like the nurse Christy. Shout out Miss Christy in Columbus, Ohio. If you are there, thank you so much, because I'm still on that path of being an advocate to help families like she helped me. And so I believe also that hydration, activity it coincides with living a healthy lifestyle. And again, with the holistic part that I'm really passionate about is because aging is a disease that we don't have to succumb to. And I have a really good example as to why I believe that as well. My papa is 92. He'll be 92 in June, and he leaves the house every day. He lives alone. He takes care of himself. He can still drive if he had a car, but I'm just saying, I think in my 20 plus years being a nurse, it's things that we can do to help our body. And one of them is to be in the pharmacy, FARM. Our food that we ingest should heal our body, not harm our body.
Wow,
Um,
thank you so
so
much for sharing all of that.
yeah, I know it was probably a mouthful, but
Oh, no, it's interesting and it's heartfelt, and I appreciate you for being vulnerable with that, with
thank
everyone
you.
here so that they can be inspired by
Absolutely.
their own journey.
Absolutely. And I feel like my story could help someone else. I didn't really get that, for a good time, but now I do understand that people need to tell their story because somebody's going through that and they need some encouragement. And it's like, well, how can you tell me if you never been in my shoes? But I'm here to say that I was a single parent, a teen mom with a baby who is in a hospital for 4 months. I still graduated on time. I went to nursing school. You can still do it. Yes, it's hard, but it's just the determination and within, and then people will come that will support you. And they don't necessarily have to be family by blood, but it could be family through experience.
You must have a good pawpaw. I
Oh yeah, I have a great family. I'm not even going to cap on that. I have an amazing family. It's 11 siblings, and then we have two bonus siblings, and I have a bonus mom, and my dad and my biological mom. Everybody is still pretty tight knit, and we have a family chat, and it helps, to have a supportive community.
Amazing. Wow, I
Hmm.
have to tell you something about a story I started writing with the character Pawpaw.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I love what you said about the Western medicine. I was actually pre-med and I studied child psychology. And I have a BA in child studies,
oh, nice.
and I decided to not go into allopathic medicine and then study alternative medicine, homeopathy, massage therapy, nutrition.
Right.
The way I see it, it's not like us versus them. It's like my analogy is like you take a car to a mechanic, but they're not responsible for putting the fuel in. They're not responsible for cleaning your car. And
Hmm.
keep your car clean, and if you don't put the right fuel in it, it's not going to work. And so like the
Absolutely.
is like our food. It's like you put sugar in your body and your energy, your ATP, your mitochondria, that is not going to be fed. As a matter of fact, you're going to create resistance in your own electrical system and you're going to freaking be tired all the time.
True.
So you have to take that responsibility. Our doctors are acting like car mechanics. They're acting, they're supposed to,
Mm.
you know, and you're responsible for putting the fuel in the car, not them.
Yeah, I like that analogy. That's a really simple one that people can kind of understand because I think a lot of education is needed. It's a lack of knowledge. And then you get on our little mini computers, our phones that we have in our hand, and some information out there is not accurate.
No, and the herbs. See, I think cannabis is just another plant in the garden. It is the food that we can use to fuel ourselves, and it needs to just be returned to our garden as we choose. And it's confusing when they do this medical cannabis and all that stuff because, yes, sure, the allopathic community, they can make medicine out of it. They can pack
Hmm.
parts and bits and isolates, but God gave us the whole plant. That is
Yes.
get your hands off of that. Like,
It's like a rose. And what my biggest thing is, and I want to say because maybe like this past year that I've been going to the Capitol to learn more. Shout out to the Capitol, aka the people's house, right? And you could just show up, which I'm very glad I learned that. But in going to the Capitol, we have to start getting more involved with the laws that's being passed because how can you say this one plant hibiscus can do the same effects
oh,
that the plant can do. Rose petals,
yeah,
mullein. It's so many other plants out there that like we're just focused on one plant. Okay, take that plant. But I'm saying if you take one plant, can you take them all?
right.
Then where do we stop? And I believe it's just that one plant got such a bad connotation. And it's not just smoking, it is salves, it is tinctures, it's oils, it's butters and creams. Like and the reason I feel so passionate about this now, after 20 years of being a nurse and in Western medicine, I have 5 people who's close to me in my immediate family where CBD oils, tinctures have saved their life. Legit. My niece has seizures Thank God I was there when she had her very first one. My mom was there, all my nieces and nephews. Nobody would have understood if I had not been a nurse to be there to witness this seizure. The only thing that stopped her seizures are the oil. Keppra did not help her. Ativan did not help her. Another friend had breast cancer. She was given morphine pills. Morphine pills did not help her. You know what helped her? The oil helped her. That
And
was the only thing.
as a nurse, what do you know why that it helps with seizures? Because you need
I think it's now technically, the technical term why Keppra, it suppresses something in the brain, kind of kicks it off. Um, right now, I would really have to, ask Google or do some research to give the correct answer. But I know it kind of is supposed to block something so a transmitter or something doesn't do something else. Give me some time. We can revisit that. I don't want to go and say anything.
spot. I didn't know if like it was something like you had an intuition about. And someone Scotty who was on the channel last week. I don't know if he knows that from the cannabis that he went to. He went to
Oh,
university in California.
oh
I,
yeah, I would.
we don't know all the answers, but it's the kind of thing like people use mustard for heartburn.
I do.
They don't
I do. And why does it work?
think it's turmeric because turmeric is in almost all mustard and it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially cannabidiol is a neuroprotectant. They even have a patent on that, so it makes sense.
Right, right. And
Well,
so,
the other thing is we can explain it scientifically, but the thing is everything has a vibration. This green color has a vibration. This orange color
yeah,
has a vibration. Cannabis has a vibration, so it could be that the very vibration it helps to release something that the shaking would otherwise release. Or we don't
mm,
so much that we can't explain, and some people just say it's God, right?
right, right, right. And isn't it wonderful? This is another thing. Isn't it wonderful that we all get to choose what
Yeah,
we believe? And it shouldn't be any hate or any shade as to what people believe. That's something I'm also embracing and learning now. How many teachers have I had in my lifetime, from grade school to college to even now, having mentors like Dexter Sharper, House of Representatives, who really helps me to understand a lot of these businesses and things that go on that you think like after I graduate high school or graduate college, you get no more teachers. And I've had so many teachers, and in my adult life, at my old age, I've had some of the greatest teachers, and it's like a light goes off. Wow. So I think we're a forever student, and
we
and we need to forever be learning. So I'm so interested, and I'm so glad we met. So because you do so much in the cannabis world, in the hemp world, that I had no idea. And look how paths cross. And I'm grateful so I can learn more from the Western side, being a nurse for over 20 years, and now trying to learn more about the holistic, because again, I've seen where the Western medicine is supposed to help heal and it doesn't. It can actually kill. And I just want us to all coincide together. Which one works best for this patient? Again, it's wonderful we all get to choose what we want to do.
and we have to feel our feelings because if we can't feel our feelings, we can't trust our intuition about what's good for us. And we're all individuals, and if we put that power in someone else's hands, then we question our own self identity, our own self concept, and it's just harder to really express who we really are in this world and to be happy. A lot of us
Right, right,
we're just these cars that keep breaking down every time we bring it to the mechanic, and we entrust that in other people instead of just being like, you know what? I can trust my relationship with my own God, my own higher power, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to embrace my gifts. I'm going to feel the joy. I'm going to feel the love. And
right.
we're going on a big tangent, but it's so fun having this conversation. So we're
Oh
just
yeah.
yeah,
I
have to do this again, but we should probably get focused and just do what we're here for, which is a Q&A about how to find out about the bills in the session. What is the Georgia session? Um, how do we testify for what we want? How do we find the things? So, what is your number one
yeah.
question to dispel what making a law is all about? Because I'm still waiting.
So yeah, I would just love, how does it begin? What's the beginning process? Because again, this is just my second season actually going to the people's house. So I'm learning as I go. And I'm definitely getting the young students involved. So if you could tell us more, I know a little bit about the page system because my children got the opportunity to page last year for the House and for the Senate, which was really great. But it's a lot that don't know what to do.
Yeah,
So
tell listeners what a page is.
So the page are the kids, I think they're between 13 and 17, and they do the notes for the House of Representatives or the Senate while they're in session. And then they come back and forth and just pass messages. That was my understanding. But they get a certificate, they get to meet the House Speaker and whoever they're paging for, and meet a lot of the House of Representatives and the senators.
So it's called Calling Your Legislator to the Ropes. And
Ah.
so it's on the third floor, right? Is that where the main sessions are happening on either
Oh
side?
yeah, yep, you're right. Mm-hmm.
One side's the House, one side's the Senate, and you basically fill out a form for the page and with the senator's name or the representative's name, and they go and fetch them essentially and say, oh, this person wants to talk to you. Can you go to the ropes? Now, during the session, they might be voting. They might not be able to come out. But if there's just like discussion and they don't need to be there, then they might come to the ropes and talk to you. And the reason why that's essential is because they don't always have time to like sit down and have a meeting. And so it's good to be able to call them to the ropes, especially if you check the schedule that day and you notice they're going to vote on a bill that I'm passionate about. I just want to say vote no. I just want to say vote yes. I'm going to call them to the ropes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like it. Just to say, hey.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does a bill get to be a bill or even on the front of a possible bill?
Well, a legislator has to put it in the docket. And now this is something that I actually don't know as far as how many sponsors are needed to be on the bill to go in the docket. Um, and okay, so a bill is created in many different ways. A lobbyist from a corporation can bring it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lobbyist from, a person might come up to a legislator and even pay a lawyer to write something and say, this is important for me. Will you drop this? Our own governor supports certain legislation like the tort reform this year, and he'll drop it in people's, propose it to different legislators, and he'll choose different people to carry it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so once a legislator says, yes, I can get behind this, then they will carry the bill. They will be the main sponsor. Now, I don't know if they need a certain number of sponsors. We'll have to go to the rundown next week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up to the Capitol
Now,
next week, I hope.
if you look at all the bills, like I've never seen less than 3 or 4 sponsors. So you might need 3 other sponsors besides yourself to start pushing the bill.
Got you. Okay.
Now, first it has to be assigned to a committee after it makes the floor. Now, in order to get to the floor to even be assigned to a committee, I believe the Rules Committee has to say, okay, we're going to put it on the floor today. So once it gets into a committee, it has to pass the committee to get a floor vote. Once it gets a floor vote, it has to go to the other side. If it was on the House, it has to go to the Senate. If it was on the Senate, it has to go to the House. And then again, it's assigned to a committee. The committee passes it, and then it gets a vote on the floor. And then it passes, and then the governor either signs it or vetoes it.
Oh, in the 40 days.
Yes. Well, the governor usually signs it like maybe in July or whatever the bill says it needs to be into law by this date. Then the governor has time to review it, and then usually it's signed by the end of April or at least by the end of July. I don't think I've seen anything get signed or vetoed past July. Now, they can call a special session for some things as well. So it's not necessarily just the 40 days, but it mostly is. And then, of course, this is a Republican dominated legislature for over 20 years now. So some people are even discouraged to drop bills and do the work for it unless they know Kemp is going to approve of it or Republicans are going to approve of it. So that's part of the game here is, you know, you can push for it and get people to say, you know, this is really important. This is a bipartisan issue. But a lot of Democratic bills have been shot down because we just don't have votes in our legislature.
Oh, got you.
So that's that in a nutshell. Next question.
So, how can a person reach out to their House of Representatives or their Senate person? Like, okay, fine, you come to the Capitol, and then what? How do you find them?
I do actually have a link that I can drop in the chat where you can find your legislator. Let me see if I can grab that real quick.
Awesome.
Yeah. I actually sent an email. So if anyone wants to put their email in the chat, if they didn't get the email, then I will add you to the next newsletter.
Yes. Oh, good.
And so I have a newsletter that I do need to update, like a web page. I'm going to put it in the chat right here. This link is way too long. It's like added like search engines to it, but I'm just going to drop it here. You can click on it either way. Oh, Scotty's in the house. I just got on the chat.
Hey, Scotty. I think we should do another live with Scotty as well. And whoever can talk about the endocannabinoid system, because I need to learn more, I would really appreciate that.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And Scotty, yeah, I agree. Poison ivy, and you know, not everyone is allergic to it, and of course the birds enjoy it too. So yeah, that's a really good point. You know, like what about nandinas, which all the landscape companies are planting and that are so toxic to birds, the berries, and you know, like come on, people.
Right, right. It's okay for this, but not okay for that.
Right. So can you click on that link, anyone who's watching the newsletter link? If not, I'll drop a shorter one. But basically, if you click on that link, you'll see, and actually, I can just share that page right here.
Can this?
What was that? Oh, I think her phone died. Okay, so check this out. This is the Georgia bill tracker. Skittles did warn me that she just warned me that her battery was like at 1%. So her phone probably just died. So once she gets it charged back up, she might join us. Also, Scotty and Joseph are they've got a lot going on, but they actually might jump on here live. But here is the to answer her last question. If you scroll down this webpage that I just put in the chat, you can find your legislator by clicking here. It actually opened up in a different screen. So I'm gonna go here. So that's the screen it opens up on, and you can just put your address. And we did review this in another video. So that's how you find out your legislator. So she just asked, what do you do once you go down there? Actually, before you even go down there, I would kind of recommend doing this before you go down there so you can research where the room number is and even make a list of who you want to see when you go down there. And who you want to see depends on what you want to get done, right? So if you just want to talk to your own legislator because you are their constituent, then that's cool. You just want to meet them. You just want to talk to them about the issues that you care about this session. You want to thank them for their service. And now what you can also do is look up what bills that they've sponsored and what bills they support. So once you find your legislator, you can actually, like, for example, she used to be my legislator. Mary Margaret Oliver used to be my legislator, right? But they changed the district lines. So if you see here, You can go to her biography. You can go to the committees that she's in, the sponsored legislation. So you have some talking points that you can do with her once you find out more about them. You can find out if they're Republican, Democrat, and whatnot. Scotty says the weather, if he's, oh yeah, be careful, you know. How, it's beautiful over here. How's the weather over there? Yeah, don't do this while you drive. So that's that. And before I go any further, I do want to have a word from our sponsor. We have a few sponsors today. Scribbles isn't here. He's playing outside in the beautiful weather, but Scribbles sponsored with his album, Scribbles Soup. It's a great song for kids with some great songs. Maybe we'll play one in a little bit, like think positive about yourself, wipe the negative off the shelf. Think positive about yourself. Positive, positive, yeah. Another sponsor for today's video is Aviva's Bach Flower Essences, box that rock, that help you deal with all kinds of fears that hold you back from being your highest good. A beautiful vibrational spray. All right, and now back to the video. Hey, everyone, I'm right here. Did you miss me? No, because I'm right here. I'm the commercial and the video. Haha. Okay, so questions. I have been given questions. Here they are. Next question is what is the website for the state capitol information? And this I just put on the thumbnail of the video. It's legis.georgia.gov. And I'm just going to post it in the comment here. That is where you go for everything. And then there's a search bar, right? That's where we are right here. There's a search bar up here. You can look up the different bills, right? And so once again, this is the list of bills that I have compiled. There are about 2 or 3 more that I need to add to it. And it's a lot to keep up with. We've got other sources that are tracking the bills in Georgia, the cannabis bills, like Yolanda. She's been doing a great job with that. And it's a lot. It's good to all meet and talk about it. Now, speaking of meeting, there is a lobby day being put on, or an information panel being put on by the Georgia Cannabis Industry Alliance this Wednesday from 3 to 4:30, Capitol Room. I think it's 2:30. Let me see. Let me just look at this real quick. Yeah, room 230 at the Capitol, 3 to 4:30. It is hosted by Gip Goodies and the Georgia Cannabis Industry Alliance. I will be speaking. Carmen Butici will be speaking. He's the cannabis industry executive. Scotty Ellison will be speaking, and the topic is it's all about the flower. Because as you know, SB 494 did ban hemp flower this year for the first time in like 5 years. So that was pretty sad. So that is this Wednesday. Now this Wednesday, we also might have a couple of hearings to check out. So let's look that up. See, right now, I think that on Wednesday, the Ag Committee meets. Now, if you saw my past 3 videos that I've done this year so far, you know what? You know that in order to be notified of a meeting in 24 hours advance or whatnot, even though it sometimes changes an hour before, you can write to the legislative assistant of that committee and say, hey, Can you add my email to the email list? I'd like to be informed of all the meetings and the agendas that are going to be written for that meeting. So you see here, I don't know how easy it is for you to see, but you can see the schedule here, right? So let's look. This is for Monday. Let's break it down. Monday, there's a floor session at 10 a.m. And how long it lasts depends on how long they take. Notice that there's always a rules meeting before that, right? Can you see me like doing this? Notice there's a rules meeting before that. Now that's where they decide what's going to be heard in the session. I don't think they know the day before. Is this blurry to you, or can you see that clearly? And that's interesting. There's a creative arts and entertainment. Ooh, let's see what's on that agenda. Okay. Let's see what's on their agenda. HB 475, income tax credit for film, gaming, or digital production. Creative Arts and Entertainment Committee. What do they do? What are they responsible for? I kind of want to know. I kind of want to know, don't you, kitty cat? So let's go to the committee. What are they responsible for? Oh, so let's go to the committees. Let's go to all. Was that Senate or House? Anyway, here's the committee, and what is the Creative Arts and Entertainment Committee responsible for? There's a lot of people. Carl Gillier, Dale Washburn, I recognize those people. About. The Creative Arts and Entertainment Committee is responsible for measures affecting Georgia's entertainment industries and the jobs they create. All right. Okay, back to the Senate schedule. Now we can go to all. We pressed all. Did you see that? Okay. We are on all. Kitty cat, you hear her? Alrighty. I do also have a Venmo if anyone wants to make a donation. Oh, I think Kitty Cat's going to come and say hi, everyone. You want to say hi? No? Okay, don't. See if we care. All right, so we are looking at the schedule here. Monday, we've got all. Before I was just looking at the House. So on Monday, now if you go to the link to all the bills, you'll see what committees all the bills are in. So for example, I do think there's something in the health and the regulated industries. Usually it's health, regulated industries, ag, judiciary, and whatnot. That's where most cannabis bills get assigned. Let's look at what the House is doing. So, wow, that's really small. Can I make it bigger? David Clark's got a couple of bills. It really does help to get familiar with people and go down there. Drug manufacturers, wholesalers. I don't know, HB 139. I don't know, maybe that has something to do with cannabis. Probably not, though. All right, regulated industries. Let's see what's going on with that. We've got 342. So Monday there is 342. Okay, and I wanted to talk about this, okay? I wanted to talk about this 342 because 342, it literally is just a definition, okay? Oh, Scribbles is back.
Hey, I'm back. Sorry, my phone died.
That's all right. I told them. Okay, you came back at such an interesting point, okay?
Awesome.
Now, check this out. So 342, I'm going to pull that bill up for you.
Okay. Oh, and that one is that the House bill?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I was there last week for what was that Senate Bill 33.
Yeah, and 342 was supposed to be heard, but it wasn't. Now 342 is a very short bill. Look at this.
Oh wow.
Now
2 pages? 3?
Now this is what I call a carrier bill. Now, the reason why I call it a carrier bill, and I'll have to look back on another video of what I called it in the past, but in 2021, I was down there and it had like a short bill like this, and it talked about some kind of definition of industrial hemp. Okay. And it quickly got through, and they quickly passed it because it was one little like change of definition. But the truth of the matter is, when there's a small bill like this, it can easily be added to like 227.
Right.
We testified on last week as well on Wednesday. I need to get those videos. And I think it actually had this in there. So this is redundant, but it serves a purpose because once it's over in the House, they can pull a switcheroo on something that didn't pass the Senate or vice versa. Now that's what they did with this bill that I testified on that I put in the trailer. I'm going to pull it up. So it's just 2 minutes long. You can watch it real quick. I want to share it. My testimony. You know, it was hard to look back at the moment, but honestly, it's easier for me to see my testimony now because it's like 4 years later. And I'm like, oh, I look so young. But at the time, I look so old. If I could find it. Okay. So here I was. I literally thought, this is March 23rd. So what does that mean? It's March 23rd. So that means crossover already happened. And they're trying. So they were trying to push the medical cannabis bill through last minute. Okay. And they switcherooed on this carrier bill that was a hemp bill until all of a sudden they just added 20 pages of this other bill. And I was there anyway, gonna just testify about hemp. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll talk about medical cannabis since I'm here.
This bill brought up your alley.
I'd be honored to talk for a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll give you a minute.
Well, I really appreciate it. I just have a couple of questions for the committee to consider for next year, I suppose. One is one of the biggest challenges I've heard is to actually fund the hemp program. So since it's expensive in the medical status, I'm wondering if some money can be funneled towards the hemp program. The other thing that is an absolute concern of mine is that the raw hemp product, as I've said a few times, is not allowed according to, I think, both the medical and the hemp, industrial hemp. And I think that's an issue because, you know, it's like the difference between raw peaches and dried peaches. And the science is there. When you juice the actual raw cannabis, there's so much medicine there. A lot of people say the smoking and the oil is the best form of medicine, but I think it depends on the individual. And so it's really good to have the options if we want to take care of our people. And one more thing I want to say is I understand your fear about there being like, is it the same plant? It is. And, you know, I've been rooting for industrial hemp before there was a definition of hemp being 0.3% THC or less. I've always considered it the same plant. And my biggest fear is that we wouldn't free this plant fast enough to help our environment with all of the great things that hemp does for our environment. The trichomes clean the air when it's growing outside. It's great for the bees. It, you know, remediates the soil. And so my fear is that we're going to be so afraid of medical cannabis that industrial hemp will never be free. So one more thing is that I also have empathy for your need to support our industries here and the monopolies, so to speak, because I like shopping at Publix. I like shopping at Kroger. You know, have you ever known someone who makes their own artisan bread to put out a big business? You know, have you ever known someone who makes homemade cookies to put out a bakery? So I think we don't need to be scared of having some kind of a home grow for especially the folks that cannot afford these expensive oils, but they deserve the medicine. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Appreciate those comments.
Thank you.
I like that. So much hempening. That was cute.
Uh-oh, you're driving. Be careful.
Yes, I'm going to park right now.
Okay, good. So, um, so basically, I'm looking in the 2021 session, and I want to know what bill number it was that happened. Okay, 2021, because history matters, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and I want to know what happened. Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot going on here. So SB 195, I think might have been the one, maybe not.
Okay.
Let's say it was March 31st or March. Yeah, anyway, this isn't important right now. I actually have a video where I explained like how they switched it out last minute. I don't know where it is, but maybe it's still in the editing room. But just to be aware that like, what do we do when there's this carrier bill? Like, do we show up at the testimony on Monday and be like, hey, this is already in 227. Why is this here? Is this just going to be a carrier bill that we can just add something to nefariously, like last minute? I don't know if we're allowed to do it. I don't know what the games, but that's why I called this video "The Tricks and the Trademarks," because they're very tricky. They don't just pass the bills that pass the committee. What? Meow meow. Meow meow. Meow meow. Why are you being so noisy? They don't just pass the bills that pass the committee, right? They like stick them in and all the like the last minute. Last minute, both last session and the session before, they like added like all these amendments to the bill. So it's like the meat of 494 that banned the flower, we voted out of like we showed up to that same regulated industries committee, and Chairman Cowsert was so wonderful about hearing everyone, which they didn't do this past time. He wasn't there. I don't know why. And he took a whole second day to hear everyone's testimony, and he didn't pass it to the committee. Like they didn't, they didn't vote it out, but they stuck it to the bill last minute, 12:30 a.m. the last night of session.
Wow.
And it's not just a trick. At this point, it's a trademark. So now we know that's going to happen. So we need, like, anyone who got the numbers of legislators, we need to be texting them, because there they go, speed reading now a 50-page bill, the last second. They're exhausted. They probably haven't slept in 40 days.
They really haven't.
So anyway, any questions about that?
Okay, so Monday you said is a committee meeting, right? How
we're
going
through the schedule. So Monday, that 342 is being read in regulated industries. Okay, let's go back to that. Good point.
And how would somebody, if they wanted to come and just hear it, you don't even have to speak. If they just wanted to be present, how could they do that?
Yeah, you can just show up. Okay, so here I am again. Let me share the screen again. Hold on. All right, here we are. I know it's probably hard to see. So all you have to do is you go to the schedule. You're like, oh, okay. I want to go see what they're talking about with regulated industries. Maybe my legislator is there. I just want to meet him. And you see, okay, it's at 2:00. And where is it? 606 Club. Now, do you know the difference between club and cap?
No.
Because we've got Okay, see, we've got 2 ways to read the room numbers. Can you see that?
Yeah, a little. And I'm kind of familiar with it just because I've seen this before. But yeah, so you'll go to look at whatever committee it is, right? And then because I didn't even know the regulatory committee was who I would be looking for on last week. But even the electrical is under the regulatory committees. So it could be several hearings for several different topics in the one meeting that's scheduled, which is good to know.
Right. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, regulated industries is always like natural resources like electrical, gas, power, which is why like in my
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, of course cannabis is going to be there because cannabis cars, cannabis fuel, that's what I want.
Clothes. Yes. I really shout out to anybody who's making hemp clothing. I need some all natural hemp fibers for scrubs.
It feels amazing. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
this is a total hemp shirt that I'm wearing and a hemp, I've been fortunate enough to go to Colorado and Tennessee where they've had the hemp expos and
Really? Yeah. I'm just more, I want some, like everything has a vibration, and I believe the vibration of healing and like Hertz 3 was at 432, I believe that hurts. It just heals different parts of your body. So I also believe that our skin is our biggest organ. Therefore, it should have healing practices.
And that's what this is. 432 Hertz music right here.
Wow. Look at that.
Scribble.
Look at that.
You can listen on Spotify and help channel 0.008 cents towards Aviva.
Oh, wow.
All the work that we're doing every time you stream it.
Yes. Yeah. Put that link in there.
You tune to those vibrations. Excuse me, kitty cat. Are you
Absolutely.
432 hertz meowing? Or is that a 440 hertz meow?
Yes. See, the animals know.
440 hertz, they say, is like mass hysteria vibration.
Mm.
Yes. So back to the schedule. 403 CAP means it's in the Capitol building, the one with the gold dome. Now, CLOB is Coverdell Legislative Building, and it is across the street, on the side street, not directly across the Capitol where the church is. But if you go past the Capitol from MLK, then it's across there, and you'll see the building. You go in, it's got a separate security entrance, and
Mhm.
it's just got other rooms in it.
And
It's
it's called the Clover Building.
the Coverdell Legislative. I don't know what O stands for building.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
I thought that was different.
Coverdell.
So, oh.
Yeah, so in the Coverdell building, basically there's just a bunch of offices, but then there's also meetings and meeting rooms, and they have lunches there and all kinds of things.
Is that where the House of Representatives are?
No,
No.
the main session for the House of Representatives, they're both on the 3rd floor. They're across from each other.
Got you. Okay.
I think it's the 3rd floor. I know that you can see it like from some risers on the 4th floor too.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah, both senators and representatives are in club. I feel like more representatives than senators, though, for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Mm.
It could just be my imagination and just the people that I've met with. So you can see that the Regulated Industries House Committee is 606 Club. It's on the 6th floor, so that's how you know. Now you can also watch it on the live stream by clicking this video. And again, you can click the schedule there. You're seeing are you seeing my pointing to stuff when I do?
Yeah, it's small. You know how it kind of looks on
Yeah.
the side, but yeah,
Okay, so
definitely.
keep going and see what's going on Tuesday, the 25th. So on Tuesday, the 25th, we've got an ag meeting. Okay. Now
Ag
that's
important.
so that might be when 265 is being read. Let's see. Nope. I don't see it on the agenda. I know it's really small, but we do have 398. Now 398, I don't know what it is yet, but it's something to do with cannabis. I haven't been able to find it. But
Okay.
you guys look, that is one of the new bills that has cannabis in it somewhere. So someone needs to research that. So HB 398, Tuesday, Ag Committee, 9 a.m. Okay. So
Tuesday at 9 a.m.
yep,
Okay.
that's what it says. And then the other one was, what was it? 342, Regulated Industries, Monday, 2 p.m. It's easy for things to kind of slip by too, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
A
And
lot.
then sometimes, you can be in that session listening and waiting for your turn and you don't get it. And then they'll reschedule.
Mm-hmm.
So be prepared.
Yeah. But then there's this like 529 Georgia Online Automatic Renewal Transparency Act. I'm not sure what that is. I definitely have been wanting them to do something related to driver's licenses getting suspended because I got arrested for that and it was not suspended. But anyway, that's another story.
Oh my gosh. See? It
Yeah.
was wrong in technology, huh?
Now, Regulated Industries is also meeting Tuesday at 11, but there is no, hold on. Are you able to see that? Again, what are we seeing? Okay, yeah. All right, and let's see. Anything else going on here? Judiciary. What are we reading there? Agenda TBA. Honestly, like that's pretty common. Most agendas you don't know till the day before. Let's see what's going on Wednesday. Let's see if there are some agendas posted. There is a kitty cat still meowing in 440 hertz over here. There's an energy committee too, which is kind of weird because I thought regulated industries was that. Okay, so Wednesday, oh, this is continuing with Tuesday. So there's another regulated industries committee in the Senate on Tuesday. We don't know what's going on with that. Let's go to Wednesday, the 26th. Agriculture, 2 p.m. So that is the Senate Ag. I don't know if there's any cannabis bills in Ag. I can show you how to find that out in a minute. And there's Health, Governmental Affairs. I'm just curious. Let's click on that agenda. What are they doing in government? Oh, TBD, to be determined. So we
And
don't.
those are Tuesday or Wednesday?
That's Wednesday. Oh wait, that's Thursday. Wait, no, that's Wednesday. And now Thursday. Okay. Thursday, there is another regulated industries, a lot of regulated industry action. And then Friday, there's just a couple things. So yeah, there is a floor session on Friday. There's a floor session.
Oh, it's on Friday?
Now, if there are floor sessions, then mostly you can find your center. But there are some days that just committees are scheduled and not floor sessions. Okay, it's good to be aware of that. You can see on the schedule, floor session. I'm gonna go through here. Yes, there's a floor session on Thursday. Is there one on Wednesday? Yes, there's one on Wednesday. Is there one on Tuesday? Tuesday, there's not a floor session that I see. Tuesday,
Okay.
I don't see. So what that means when there's not a floor session is probably your legislator is in a committee. But if you really want to see your legislator, you might not want to go on a day where there's not a floor session because they might not come. Now you got to keep in mind a lot of legislators are coming from a very far away place because Georgia is big. And so their home, might be in Savannah. So was it Tuesday I said there's not a floor session? So there's no floor session. So when there's no floor session, it doesn't count as one of the 40 legislative days.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's just a day that committees meet.
Got you. And in those committees is when people can come still, right?
Yeah, I mean, if your legislator does not have a committee meeting, then they might not come that day.
Okay.
she just wants attention.
Oh,
So funny. So yeah, so that's that. I think we've explored a lot. Come on up,
absolutely. Very informative.
Star.
And how can people watch this live? Or the replay?
Oh, I'll keep it up on my channel under the live playlist.
Oh, great, because I'll definitely forward the message
Yeah.
To people who are interested.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll definitely be up on the same link, the YouTube link that I sent.
Oh,
And,
awesome.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like, did we get to all the questions? I feel like someone else sent me questions. And by the way, I do have like 3 other videos so far this year so if I didn't cover it today, I might have covered it on the other one.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you find out what's on the schedule? Yeah. So we did cover that. Did you see that like once you go to that website, you up here is where the House and the Senate, you can like basically just click on that and you go to the schedule.
Oh, I see.
And then you click on all House or Senate. So if you want to just narrow it down. And so once again, I'm starting to do a collection of cannabis bills. And if you see one that's not on here, if you know a summary, that you want to share with me, because I can't do everything, then
Right.
I will add that to that. Can I make that bigger?
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Okay, so basically I'm summarizing all these bills. I'm telling you who the sponsor is. That's very important, so you know who's sponsoring it. And I'm telling you if it has been assigned to a committee, I'm telling you what committee it is, so that if you care about this bill, you can click on the committee, find the chairman, write to the chairman, write to the assistant of the chairman. And that's very important, actually, is that if you want to meet with a legislator, your best bet is to contact their assistant.
That's right. Okay.
Because if you contact them over and over again, they're not going to check all their emails, but their assistant's a little more efficient because they're not as distracted. So here we are. We're looking at all these cannabis bills. There's something in the health committee, the 227. Now 41, I do want to talk about 41 because I think it's really important we get behind Representative Davis.
Oh, absolutely. I need to call him Monday then.
Well, it's a woman.
Oh, okay. Call her. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
And she's right there in the first offices, like the hundreds.
Oh, Viola Davis. I do know her.
Nice. Well,
yes.
This is just simply like decriminalization. Like instead of putting them in jail, like just give them a ticket for smoking weed. Now, obviously, that still sucks, but it's a baby step to stop putting our friends in jail, right?
Right.
So she has been assigned to judiciary non-civil. So I have written to him, and I remember I messaged you. I'm like, go to his office, and tell him to hear HB 41. Let's just quickly check if we can find a judiciary non-civil on the schedule, real quickly. That's House, right? Okay, so do we have judiciary this week? Judiciary. Okay. Yes, but there's no HB 41. And actually, that's just judiciary, not judiciary non-civil, I don't think. Okay, let's keep going real quick. Hang with me.
Mm.
Judiciary, what about Tuesday? Judiciary, no. Oh, judiciary juvenile. I don't know what that means. Let's see what the agenda is. TBA. Another judiciary house. I don't think it's the right one because it's saying juvenile. I don't think that's the same as non-civil. Again, TBA. So we do have some juvenile judiciary meetings. So anyway, okay. So back to just going down this list here. And like I said, I haven't added all of them, but I just wanted to show you if it's in a committee, I did add that it was in a committee. So let's just quickly check and see if any other bills were added to committees that aren't listed here. Like, let's just see the last thing that we're going to do besides I am going to check to see if someone else messaged me questions.
Okay.
I'm just going to quickly stick HB 440, speaking of 440 hertz, into bar, and it has been assigned to the House Health Committee.
Oh, nice.
So that's new. So let's go back to the schedule, the House schedule, and see if it's being read this week in the Health Committee in the House. And then, so I'm going to add that update to the chat, that HB 440 assigned to Health Committee.
Okay.
Now, you know about crossover day?
Yes. Well, I don't know much again because this is only my second session, but what day is that?
I think it's March 6th. I have to double check.
Oh, okay. I got to make sure I'm there.
Okay, Health Committee in the House. Wow, there is no HB 440 in this first one, but David Clark, who sponsored that one, has two other bills that they're reading. I think I went over that earlier, actually. I was like, David Clark's got a lot of bills. Good for him. He's actually he actually had a bill to legalize cannabis. I don't know what year it was.
Oh, he's given up on it? Or
I don't know. Let me see. What is he? Is he Democratic or? He is Republican. So his sponsored, I can't. He's got so many. I guess maybe it was 2021 when he did cannabis bill. I mean, I definitely mentioned it in my videos. I can go and find it for next week or whatever.
Yeah.
But because this is getting long. Okay, HB 367 was to change. Oh, this is interesting. Change the definitions in the. Oh, this actually passed, so obviously it wasn't to legalize cannabis.
So, just a recap.
Yeah.
I heard about like the Delta 8 is not, you can still have it or you can't. Like, what can you or can you not have?
Yeah, I think you can still have it.
Oh, okay. What bill did I don't know if it was like September of last year or October of last year when they had to get rid of like the Delta 8 off the shelves. Did that happen or did that get changed or altered? Do you know? I mean, it's some things I know Coach really is aware of some of the up and ups. But again, because I've had patients who requires, they that's their form of pain relief. They ask me and I want to give them the right information.
Are you talking about flour or?
Well, tinctures, oils, or specifically flour, then I guess because that was the only Delta 8.
Well, Delta 8, it's definitely Like there's Delta 8 honey. There's definitely Delta 8 other things.
Okay, got you. Okay.
But yeah, flour was banned.
Okay. So
whatever that means, right?
got you.
So I'm looking, I feel like I'm almost there. I'm trying to find this for the history of hemp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might have been as early as 2019. Well, this is 2019. Could it have been 2018 that he tried to legalize it? Might have been. Or it might have been. Oh, here we go. Lawful possession of marijuana. I don't know. I'll find it another time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like obsess over these things. I'm like, I need to know it now.
And we have time. Time is on our side. We can always pick it up. This is an ongoing conversation because education is an ongoing thing.
It is key. It is key. I'm going to double check the questions real quick. You know what? I think we've gone long enough. I think.
Oh, look at that one.
Here it is. The carrier bills. Yeah. Okay. I actually covered all that stuff. One thing I'd like to look into is our Controlled Substance Act and what it says right now and what we need to change. And the DEA and all that stuff. The DEA of Georgia. There's like a DEA. I kind of did want to share that link because we could educate our DEA. I pulled it up. Oh, and I do want to just do one more shout. Please do donate if you can to.
Yes, please donate to the channel.
Yeah, I have this GoFundMe going, and it's kind of pathetic. It's kind of really pathetic. Like, I started it last year, and you can see that my goal is just $3,600 for the year. Like, I was thinking, you know, to help pay for the studio costs and everything. And I only raised $265. So I'm not the best fundraiser, but, you know, I'm still going to do it no matter what.
Right? Oh, yeah. Just put it out there.
So I've got 7%. So if I can get up to 10% by the end of today, that'd be a good goal. Like
right.
$50 more altogether would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, yeah, thank you guys for being here regardless. And, yeah. I think that's it for now. I think we've covered a lot. I really appreciate your company, Skittles. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to coming back again. And thank you for all the work that you do. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And again, just in this short amount of time that we've met, I have learned quite a bit. And I look forward to more. Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to speak on Wednesday about how it does kind of feel traumatic to go and testify for something that's illegal. And there is psychology to that. But I also think one healthy way to look at it is like a sports game. Now, mind you, I feel traumatized sometimes, like with the loud football games and even though I was a cheerleader, like it is kind of intense, the competition. But to keep in mind, I think it's just healthy to understand the truth that there is a lot of competition at the Capitol. Like they want their bills to pass. Like it is a game. And so to try and detach yourself and be like, okay, this is a sport. I don't know. Even though it feels like Hunger Games or
Yeah. Yeah. I think as long as we have each other and we support and be vocal, then, you know, the right connections and the right support will come.
Yes. And it is a spiritual battle.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Shining your light so bright.
Thank you. Yes. Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
Let's close out with a song from Scribble Soup so we get the 432 hertz. So feel free to hang out. But I'll see you at the Capitol.
See you at the people's house.
That's right.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned for more.
That's right. All right. Pulling up a song. Here we go. 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 Scribble Soup. What we gonna hear? What we gonna hear from Scribble Soup? I got you. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, boo. All right, hold on. Ooh, let's declutter. Let's declutter the capital from the lies in this song. Oh, Mom, it's Petunia! Petunia, what do you mean? She whispered to them quietly. Oh, said the team. They burst out in song. Wait, stop there, Mom. We gotta sing the song now. Wait. I didn't finish the story. But the song. Okay, you're right. We gotta get this clutterbug out of here before he multiplies. Oh, clutter, oh, clutterbug, oh, clutterbug, oh, buggity, yo, you gotta leave my home right now. I said, oh, clutter, oh, clutterbug, oh, clutterbug, oh, buggity, yo, you gotta leave my home right now. Oh, clutterbug, stop infesting me and all of my stuff. I said, no, oh, clutterbug, oh, don't you see I got tough and call your bluff. Oh, clutter, oh, clutterbug, oh, clutterbug, oh, buggity, yo, you gotta leave my home right now. I said, oh, clutter, oh, clutterbug, oh, clutterbug, oh, buggity, yo, you gotta leave my home right now. Oh, clutterbug, I need my energy. I need it for me, my creativity. She strives on clarity. So what are you doing in my vanity? On the floor in my closet, I just can't ignore it anymore. You're even in my brain, I gotta get you on the next train. And it's oh, clutter, oh, clutterbug, oh, clutterbug, oh, buggity, yo, you gotta leave my home right now. I said, oh, clutter, oh, clutterbug, oh, clutterbug, oh, buggity, yo, you gotta leave my home right now. Oh, clutterbug, stop affecting me and all of my stuff. I said enough. Clutterbug, oh, can you see I gotta be tough and call your bluff. I ain't gonna deal with no freeloading. You gotta pay the bills and get real with things. Clutter, oh, clutterbug, you gotta leave my home right now.